we've seen an awful lot of questions lately about folks not knowing if their ewe is pregnant, or not knowing the signs and symptoms of being pregnant, or when they're getting close to lambing. And we decided that we should probably do a video, because while somebody can type and say, hey, you know, when their bag is filled, then they're gonna lamb, right? Well, without a visual, it kind of doesn't help the individual, because the bag goes from completely empty to filling up. So what might be considered full to the individual seeing it compared to what it really is full may not match up. So we're gonna walk around and show you. We have several samples here at our farm to give you an example and show you what does and does not constitute being pregnant, and then also what does and does not constitute being close to lambing. So first and foremost, and since she's right here, she's a pretty good example. So see how on her sides, you can see how she rounds out on both sides. Most sheep do not look like that. They look a lot like Beauty over here. So Beauty just gave birth about a week ago, and you can see how her sides go straight down pretty much now. And she gave birth to good healthy twins. So that's a very good indication that she is pregnant. Now, whether or not she has twins, that's hard to say. You can also see that she has a bag forming back here. We'll wait till she stops. So now you can see that she has a bag forming, and that bag is definitely lopsided, but it is forming. You can see here, she has a bag that is slowly forming. Is it full? Absolutely not. Not even close, right? But you can see that she's very rounded out on the sides as well. Now, the farther along that they get, the bigger their bag is going to become. So I'm going to use her as an example because she just gave birth 2 days ago. But you can see how full her bag is. That tells me right there that she is not far from lambing. Once her bag is filled, usually within a week or two, they're going to give birth. And then this is a very obvious sign. So you can see, if you look at her from the side, you can see how low her belly goes, right? So it comes out, goes down. Hi, PJ. You're not being helpful right now. PJ gave birth too. You can see this is a normal look for our sheep. They're not fat. They have meat on their bones, but they're not wide by any means. And they don't have a belly that nearly drags the ground like hers. So see how rounded she is and how it comes down, right? So you got right here going down and around. But then, even though as big as she is, if I come back here to look, she barely has a bag. This is her bag right here. Oh, come on, mama. She doesn't have much of a bag yet. So she is big, but she's not near giving birth. And then I've got Chugger. Chugger was a bottle baby last year. You can see that she is wide. I know the fluffy wool does not help, but you can see she's wide. You can see that she's rounded, right? And then when I go back here and I look at her genitalia and her bag, hopefully you guys can see it. I don't know if you see it on the camera or not. Her genitalia is very puffy. You can see that pretty clearly even from here. It's very puffy. And then her bag, you can see right there, is very full. So it won't be long before she's about ready to give birth. And then you have the ones that are really small. You're not sure that they're pregnant, like her. So she's a yearling. She is pregnant, and you can see that she's slowly starting to poke out on the sides, but she was recently bred, probably about a month, maybe 2 months ago. She does have a little bit of a pooch starting, so you can see her bag is starting. So maybe she was bred longer than that ago, but either way, she is a smaller one, and she is a little harder to tell when they're pregnant. Other easy signs and symptoms are things like this. Let's see if I can find one. Well, she's doing it. So when they go and they just lay down, like everybody else is up and around moving, but yet she's laying down. There we go. Everybody's out of the way. So if she's over here laying down, she actually doesn't have babies yet. None of those are hers that are hanging around her. But you can see that her genitalia is a little puffy. She definitely has a bag. And you can see that she's pretty plump. Right? I'm sure she's getting tired because she's pregnant. She's got at least one baby in there. So stuff like that is going to be a pretty good indicator. Again, she has a bag forming, but not full. She's very plump. You can see again by the body structure, right? Very plump and rounded. But let's see if she has a bag. And she has a bag forming, but it's not full. Right? That's a very good example of what a full bag looks like. Her bag is very big. She has clearly given birth. She's not very wide anymore, but you can see that she has plenty of milk, stuff like that. Now, I will say this. So there's another good example of a full bag. So Betty, you can see her bag from the front on the side right here, and you can also see it from the back. Go back here, I can still see it. I can still see her bag right there. So all of these indicators are going to show you whether or not you have ewes that are pregnant. And then the harder part is that they might have a full bag, they might look like they're going to explode, and they might hold them babies in for another 2 weeks. They don't, just because their bag is full doesn't mean they have to give birth. And just because they don't have a full bag doesn't mean that they can't give birth. Sometimes they give birth without a bag. It's called wonder bagging. And they'll go from having just you know, like maybe a half full bag or very small bag that clearly doesn't have enough milk, you know, like it's not full, right? But then right after they give birth, all that milk comes rushing in and fills that bag up. And within, you know, a half hour or so, that baby's already eating off of there and she's getting plenty of colostrum like she should. So, just a short video. Like I said, I wanted to help and show others, you know, kind of what they should and shouldn't look for. And then one other thing, because I don't want anybody to be confused by this. So we've already treated her for mastitis. And so as clean as we keep this barn is very clean. We keep it very clean. We clean it out once a week, if not, well, once every 2 weeks, if not once a week. You can see that they've got fresh sawdust over here. We cleaned this section this weekend, and we'll clean the rest of it next weekend. We always try to have one space that's completely clean. But even that, we can't control that somebody gets mastitis. All it takes is a little bit of dirt or something to get into that nipple, and then it'll cause a problem. So we treated her yesterday, and we need to treat her again this morning. But I'm a little worried about her leg now, because that was not like that yesterday. Mama. Her udder does look a lot better. I'll give her that. Either way, so I hope this was a helpful example of what to look for and kind of what to see. You can you can see that not everybody wants to be touched when they're pregnant. They're a little bit more on edge, they're a little more nervous. So it does make it a little harder to show you absolutely everything. But the biggest thing is if you know your sheep, if you've seen them when they weren't pregnant, you'll be able to tell when they are pregnant. And even then, when you start noticing that they're getting bigger or fatter or whatever you want to call it, right? That is just the beginning stages. They're nowhere near giving birth. Once you notice that they're getting bigger, they got a ways to go. Until they're very plump, like her, right? She's very plump, and it's pretty obvious to me that she's not going to be too far away from giving birth. Probably, I'd say another month, 3 weeks to a month. Just because she doesn't have a bag yet. Now she could still wonder bag this, but I'm going by the typical symptoms. You know, the full bag, the very large body, essentially. The genitalia being puffy. Her genitalia is not puffy yet, and it's not red or swollen. Her bag is not full or anything like that. It's filling, but it's not full. But her body is very big. So she's got 2 out of the 3 big symptoms that I look for. And then, like I said, those are guidelines. There's never going to be, every body is different, just like in humans. Some people give birth to really big babies, and other people give birth to smaller babies. Some people go full-term pregnancy, some people give birth early, some people give birth late. All those things are different in humans, just like they're different in animals. So you just really have to monitor and watch your animals to see what they're doing. Watching them and knowing them is going to be the most helpful thing you can do. If you know that somebody, for instance, like Chugger or Nibbles here is the second time mom. Last year she did have a bag when she gave birth, but it was not as big as we thought it should be. It was not quite full, it was close. But again, as soon as she gave birth, filled right up, and she was good to go with her baby. But we also know that we have one, Maud. She's back there. Oh, she's right there actually. So this one right here, right there, you can, she's the grayish and tan. She gives birth usually with very little bag. It looks like a little pooch and that's it, but she'll be huge, wide and everything else. Her genitalia all puffy, and she'll give birth, and then same thing. Within 20 minutes to a half hour, she's got a full bag. So it's kind of about knowing your animals, but generally, if you get, as long as you get the symptoms to look for and have an idea, you're gonna be okay. So again, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments down below, and like the video if it was helpful, and subscribe to the channel if you'd like to learn more. We started our farm 3 years ago and have grown, well, we started with 3 and now we are up to 77 ewes and 4 rams. And then we have 49 babies, nope, 50 because we had one born this morning, 50 babies on ground. So like I said, if you want to learn more, we even have stuff that we're going to show you about our bottle babies, everything. So how we work and how we operate, because it's knowledge that should be shared with everyone to help everyone succeed. So, and then if you have knowledge for us that'll help us, please put that back down in the comments as well. So have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time. We're gonna go ahead and finish up our morning chores and feed grain. You'll have to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more about the one that we have that has mastitis, to see how it goes. We'll keep you updated in future videos. If you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please hit that like button. Also, if you're interested in seeing more, hit the subscribe button. Other than that, have a blessed week, and we'll see you next time.